It's The Big Show with me, Alex Belford, and my next guest are one of the biggest groups in the world, Divo. How are you?
Hello.
Very well.
It's really nice to talk to you guys again, because I first met you about 2.5 years ago when you did your first set of interviews at the most depressing radio station in the world, and now you're just whopping. I saw you on Oprah the other day, and then you're doing Loose Women. I mean, where do you go from here?
Yeah, indeed. Paul O'Grady show, I guess.
Parkinson.
There must be so many highlights for you. Has been breaking America been almost more exciting than breaking the UK, because that's come afterwards, and that's kind of the place that everybody wants to go, isn't it?
Yeah. It has been absolutely amazing, because obviously we did this fantastic tour with Barbra Streisand. It was just, and it's unbelievable, be just to next such a huge icon, and doing Oprah Winfrey, doing Jay Leno, as you said. I mean, it's been amazing. I mean, and now here in London for a few days, and then we go on again with our tour. Yes, and we're gonna come very soon to do our UK tour.
I saw you last year in Nottingham, and it was just a tremendous show. It was sold out, which is very rare these days. To get a group that can actually sell out every venue is unheard of. And the sound that you guys perfect, and what I loved about your first CD, it was so well made, but the chemistry between your voices is so unique, and that's probably down to Simon Cowell and his people's genius, really, finding 4 people whose voices just bond, because that's not easy, is it?
No, I mean, it's not easy. That kind of a process, it's actually relatively similar to what they do with an opera company. They have the auditions for however many years in advance. But yeah, I mean, that was also part of the fact that he wanted to have 4 professional singers and not just, 4 X Factor contestants or whatever, or people who had no experience. So we all have experience singing with people and being able to blend. So you get these 4 guys in a room, and that's our task, and we just do it as best we can.
I've had you on my show a couple of times since we did that first hour special, and then I saw you in New York turning the lights on Fifth Avenue. These kind of things must be so special to you, because they don't necessarily ever come again, do they?
Well, that is something that does not really get through to you, I think. I mean, for me personally, at least. As you said, there is something happening every day almost, and you almost get a bit spoiled, I mean, you kind of get used to that you're on the road and there's something big happening every day. But when you get a little break and you got a few days, just to calm down, chill a bit, and then you think about what you've just all been doing, or especially if you have friends or family and you tell them what you've been doing over the last, let's say, 2 months, then you realize that it's just completely mind-blowing. So, yeah, it is, I don't know, it's a fantastic, fantastic journey, and we're enjoying every minute of it.
Enough about this proper conversation. Carlos, are you still the sexiest?
The thing is, my curl is still there, yeah. No, we all 4 very sexy guys.
Well, look.
Thanks, Carlos.
Yeah. Didn't know you felt that way.
Yeah, just give him the money back, okay.
Exactly, it's so nice after all this time you have such affection for each other. Let's go down the list and start with David, because I first met you and saw you on Broadway when you were doing the La Boheme. Are you still enjoying it, and what's been the most special thing so far?
Oh, absolutely, still enjoying it. It's the most special thing so far. I mean, it's tough. It's like you said, all of these kind of these firsts and these moments, they've all really been racking up over the past few years. I think obviously one that would stand out would be the first number one, when we were in the UK, and it was the first album, and it was all so hopeful, and we made this big experiment and didn't know what would really come of it, and we just knew that we poured our hearts and souls into it, and that it went straight to number one. It was like, I mean, you can't ask for better than that.
I've been lucky to travel in the last few weeks. I mean, it is absolutely exhausting travelling, and you guys are back and forth from the UK to America and to Australia and then to the Far East. How are you physically coping with it? Because presumably you can't allow yourselves to get that tired, or your voices would be affected.
It was Sebastian answering. That's good.
I knew this would be the most interesting interview.
Well, you're just asking. It's difficult, obviously, but I don't know. We kind of get trained to sleep only a few hours. I just realized that we generally sleep 4 or 5 hours, depending where we're going, but it's just you get used to it. But singing, you really have to take care of yourself and get as much sleep as you can. And for the jet lag and everything, I think the 4 of us, we're doing pretty good, and we're quite lucky. I don't think any of us suffer from that too much. At times that happened, but not so badly.
The thing I love about you guys is the power of your voices and the way you use them, and when you put them together, it is just so booming. What I also love about you live and on the CDs is that it starts off nice and quietly and then it crescendos to this whopping great big massive sound. It's kind of your calling card now, isn't it? That's the thing that everybody knows you for.
Yes, that's true. It's very funny. We've done the Larry King benefit, for example, last year in LA, and we were sound checking in the afternoon. And I met just an hour after or so. I met a woman from the Philippines in the gym who happened to stay there, and she said, "Come over, say, are you from LD? Weren't you just sound checking up there? I just heard it through the doors, and I thought there is no other band who sounds like that." And I thought, yeah, that is kind of the. I don't know. You know, Il Divo, we do a lot of covers. Only about half of our repertoire is original songs that have been written for us. They have not been written by ourselves, but by composers who write for us. What we've created is that sound, that Il Divo sound, which, just as you described, starts off very easy and nice and just gets bigger and bigger till, it's supposed to blow everybody away. And, yeah, we're very proud of that. I think, really, even though the concept seems obvious by now, I think still nobody has equaled it. Nobody has done it.
I think one of your greatest skills as well is having Simon Cowell involved with you. There's no greater world power at the moment, both here and in America. He's no longer hated, is he? When I first interviewed you, he was the hated Simon Cowell. Now, everybody just seems to think he's lovely.
Yeah. He's a very nice guy. I mean, since the beginning, I remember when we just met him, he was very nice, even if he has his nasty reputation. Obviously, that's his game. I mean, but now, yeah. As you said, I mean, he's a very nice guy, and we never saw him as a devil. so he's really nice.
Well, he's certainly been your angels, never mind devils. Sebastian,
Yeah,
I want to talk to you about meeting people, because you've done, as you say, so many great shows. You work with Larry King and Oprah and all those. Is there one person for you who it was just a great thrill to meet, or, is it just one big blur?
Well, I think in general, you know, it's I don't know, I have good memories of all the shows we've been doing so far. Plus, also, you know, I think when you do TV shows and all that, or touring all around the world, it's a great chance to discover new artists, and that's something really nice about our work, is mixing, you know, genre together, meeting people that are doing the same job as you. But I think Oprah was probably one of my best memory, because the first one that we did, Oprah said, David, because I'm French, so
The opera.
I didn't know her show on the first time, and the second time when we did that show, she received us like we were a king on that show, and made us felt really home, and we performed those 2 tracks, and it just went really, really well. And I don't know, it's one of this good memory when after, and you know, on the second show you go there and you know how big is that show.
How do you fill your time, Carlos? Do you have any time to fill, or is it all Il Divo? What is your schedule right now? Because you are never in the same place for more than 5 minutes. You're all from different continents, let alone different areas. How are you able to get any family life? Have you seen anybody in the last 2 years that you actually know?
It's a kind of. I was getting married last year in June, and obviously I just bring my wife when I can, maybe minimum one week every single month. It's really hard. I mean, obviously we start at the beginning of this of January, and we just start in South Asia. We have South Asia, South Africa. We just came over here in London, went to make a little bit of promotion, and now we're gonna go tomorrow to Sweden, and then Mexico, Colombia, well, all South America, Canada, and then we come back to Europe. So it's going to be non-stopping until beginning of July, and then maybe we're going to have 20 days. 20 days, 1 month free as a holidays, and then we go on again with the next album and blah blah blah, and that's our life.
One thing that you need to sort out, guys, is getting your Christmas album released over here. I bought it in America and was banging it out over the radio at Christmas, and it is just the most tremendous. Oh Holy Night is simply your best song ever, I think. It wasn't released here. Why didn't they release it in the UK?
That's a good question.
Well, I've heard from somebody at the record company that English people just don't like Christmas albums.
Oh, right.
They find them too cheesy. I've heard that.
They don't like Christmas.
That's apparently that's somebody very high up in the record company who said that English people just don't give a damn about Christmas records. But if you tell me it's different, well, we talk to them again.
I am definitely telling you it is possibly your best album for that. I mean, it is addictive when you're sat there having Christmas lunch, which I put it on this year, and I was playing all over Christmas on my various programs. It's just the most beautiful music, and there ain't many people releasing good Christmas records. There's a lot of rubbish released at that time of year, and therefore it becomes a bit cheesy, but this is a beautiful album. It's a shame that more people don't get to hear it.
So we owe you the success of this Christmas album, Alex.
Look, you know the truth. You owe everything to me. I was the first one to give you a national platform. Yeah. Nobody else cared. Now look, I can barely get 5 minutes with you.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, we pay you your commission, okay.
I do. All I need some. Are you better treated now that you're big stars and you've been on Oprah and you've got the 3 mega albums and you're going to do this a second huge whopping great big tour? You've been on with all the big stars. You've done Streisand. Do they look after you better, or are you still treated the same as you were when you started?
Well, people always ask us, they say, how have you changed since being successful? And, it's like you just said, we don't feel like we've changed at all. We feel like the people around us do kind of look at us differently. We feel the same. We're the same 4 guys. We feel still very grounded in all of this, and that's probably because we didn't come into this, as teenagers. But, people do give a special kind of attention. A lot more than they used to, yeah.
Your album is terrific. The last one is a lovely album. Siempre it's just got so many great tracks. I don't know what your favourite is. My favourite is Musica. I just think that's such a great song. And again, it just epitomises your crescendos and your bigness. And it's not an easy song to sing, is it?
Well, depending for who. For me, it's quite easy. But for the other
Don't
guys,
show off. I can't sing it.
No, it's not that. It's not what I mean. It depends all the parts that we have to sing. But I have to say, in general, I think we're quite lucky. We've chosen, the key and together. And I mean, for myself, I don't find it too hard. What about you guys?
I don't think it's necessarily any harder than the other tracks. We try and make sure that no matter what the song is that we're doing, we do it in the Il Divo style, and it's like you said, it's become our trademark. So when we go into a studio, we know how we're going to achieve that, and we kind of gear every song and every arrangement towards that so that it does always feel comfortable for us.
Guys, it's always terrific to talk to you. David, Sebastian and Carlos are the stars of Il Divo. Let's hope we speak soon, because it's hard to tie you down. You're everywhere. It's so hard to get time with you, and I really appreciate you coming back on the programme.
Well, thanks for having us again.
Thank you very much.
The Alex Belfield In Conversation podcast with daisymedia.co.uk.